Undrafted show, the boy Jay Runner holding it down. I got the magnificent T Chad. Yeah, what's popping? Breaking news, breaking news. Jimmy Butler traded to the Warriors for 121 million for a 2-year deal. Chad, what do you think about it, my guy?
Pretty good trade, man. The Warriors definitely came up. The Heat, not so much. I think talent wise, it's definitely going to hurt them. But then they have the coach and Eric Spoelstra that can actually get a lot out of that talent. So the Heat might still be able to do some damage in the playoffs. But as far as with Golden State with Jimmy Butler, now that is going to be interesting
Yeah,
because
Jimmy and Jimmy.
that's right. You kind of want to see what's going to happen with Jimmy Butler and Draymond and see how they're going to, if they can actually come together and do some wonderful things, or are they going to clash and we have some hellfire drama?
But
What
question,
you think,
Chaz.
T?
I will ask Chaz this question. I mean, Jimmy should be happy he got his money, right?
Oh yeah.
We shouldn't have any problems with Jimmy in Golden State for at least a year and a half, 2 years.
I mean, usually yeah, but I mean, I think you as well as everybody knows that Draymond Green is an asshole. So I mean, you're gonna say that one little word to piss you off. You know what I
Well,
mean?
he's about to
Jimmy
meet his
Butler is
match with Jimmy
also,
Butler.
yeah, he's definitely an asshole as well, too. So I can see them practice being really, really intense. They going in. So but I agree with you guys, man. I think for Golden State, that's an A plus. We know what Jimmy could do. Jimmy doesn't have to do a lot on that team. So all he has to do is play defense, average about, I'm gonna say 18 points per game. Um, and I think that's a championship contending team. What do you guys think as far as the championship wise? You think they could do something? They're number 11, but they over 500, maybe like a game or two. So they're not horrible, but they are number 11th in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
I think as long as they get into the play-in, they have a shot at actually doing some damage. Because I mean, you got one of the best players to ever play in Steph Curry, and you already know that Jimmy Butler is as good as anybody when it comes to closing the game. So you get that game close, Jimmy Butler can close it for you.
Yeah, I think a lot of people. Let me get in real quick. I think a lot of people underestimate Jimmy. You know, when he was with Philly, that's what his job was. He was a closer.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy didn't play to the fourth quarter. He sit back and chill, and go with the flow. And the fourth quarter hit, that's when he really got down to business. So you got Steph who's clutch. I'm sorry, Steph. You got Steph who's clutch, and now you got Jimmy Butler who's a closer. I mean, I think it's looking pretty good for the Warriors. I think this could be a season-changing trade. This could possibly be better than the Lakers AD trade. But
I'm glad you said that because I was just about to ask you. So as far as the three trades that we have, the Lakers with Luka, AD going to Dallas, and now Jimmy Butler going to the Warriors. I'm gonna ask you first, T. If you had to grade each one, what do you think the grades would be?
I like Miami's trade. Of course, we're going to like the Lakers because Lakers basically they're building for their future. But I mean, Jimmy was just being a problem down there in Miami, and Pat he got rid of him. I like it. You got back
And still
Andrew
got the bag
Wiggins,
too.
huh?
And still got the bag too.
And yeah, he got paid. Well, I think that probably Golden State did that, so they don't have any problems out of this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, we know he was tripping about his money in Miami. So you got your money, come play ball.
The only thing I want to add to is with Golden State, somebody needs to tell Draymond Green that Jimmy Butler will hit back. Just let him know.
Yeah, he ain't Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, he ain't Jordan
He
Poole.
said
Yeah,
Jordan
Jimmy will hit
Jordan
back.
Poole, my bad. Jordan Poole.
Jordan Carlin. Yeah, he ain't Poole.
ain't Jordan
Now Jimmy
Poole.
will fight. I mean, if you hear the stories when he was in Minnesota talking against Cat and just other players like, yeah, I ain't this. This is my team. I mean, you know that he is an aggressive and he about his business. I'm not sure how he was in Philly, but I'm pretty sure it was the same. But he did bring a different element to Philly. And if he would have stayed in Philly, I think they would have got farther. But Jimmy always been about the bag. that's like a gift and a curse. So he went down to Miami for the weather and the food, the girls, and the money. So now he got the bag. He's gonna be in the West Coast now. Yeah, it's beautiful over there as well. So the weather's good. A
I
lot of good
mean,
scenery where they at.
San Francisco. We ain't gonna talk about that. It's all right.
It's
I
good
heard it's a
weather. Is
slum.
that I was
I heard it's a slum out
nah
there,
nah
but
nah. I mean
I
they
mean,
I mean everywhere has a slum, but that's a tech area type place. The airport is by the water. Scenery is very beautiful. I literally was just out there last week. So yeah, but I'm pretty sure they have slum areas, but it's a beautiful place. What you think, Chad?
it's a little rough out there. It's a little rough around the edges, but at the same time, Jimmy Butler was in Chicago, and then he's in
Yeah.
Minnesota, and then Philly. So compared to those areas, yeah, I'd rather be in San Francisco.
I'm a grade for the Warriors. I'm gonna say that's an A. Luca, I'm gonna say that's an A plus, and that's more so longevity, not necessarily right at this moment, because you could build around Luca. He's only 25 years old. King might have one more year in the lead. He might retire at the end of this year. We just got to see. AD, you already know how I feel about AD. I'm gonna give that one about a B minus. I mean, it's cool. They're gonna do some things. It might be a little fancy at times, but he's gonna get hurt,
well,
and
he's
he's not
already
gonna play
he didn't play
much.
he didn't play the other night. But what about Fox? San Antonio.
That was a good trade. Yeah, I'm a. He actually fits better with that team too, and with Chris Paul being there. Um, yeah, I give that trade an A as well, because that's a point element, and with what they already got with Wemby, Chris Paul, he's a good player. He fits in. He doesn't have to do too much different. He doesn't have to try to be something that he's not. I think that's a good one. What do you think, Chad?
I think it's an A plus. I think it's going to be San Antonio's going to be real entertaining to watch because with De'Aaron Fox's speed, and then Wembyama being able to actually step back from the post and hit that jumper or three, like it could be like an inside-out game between De'Aaron Fox and Wembyama. Like it's going to be fun to watch. Like they're going to be a real dangerous duel. And then obviously they have the little steady veteran hand with Chris Paul. So they actually do make some noise this season, which is still, doable. Like Chris Paul can keep those guys, motivated and keep them, tamed and focused. So it's definitely an A to me.
Well, he's basically playing dang stepdaddy, uncle, or
Pretty much.
yeah, he's gonna be babysitting those guys. So would you say San Antonio has a big three now?
More or less a big two. Chris Paul isn't really what he used to be, but his veteran presence and his leadership, and he's still a hell of a floor general. It's still a big difference, but he's not the scoring option that he used to be. So it's
Yeah,
still
he's Avery Johnson now.
pretty much.
He
So, I
low
mean,
Avery with the little voice, but still effective. I agree with you.
So before we wrap it up, I'm trying to go through the trades that happened. I mean, this Jimmy Butler trade was huge, but it seems like the NBA said, "Hey, man, I know folks been complaining online on social media. Social media is not real life, so it's not actual, facts. But folks have been complaining about how boring the NBA is now. It's not as exciting, and they're not getting as many views as they used to get. Nobody's watching it. I blame it on streaming. There's so many different options, and not everyone has Peacock. Some people have HBO. So that's what I blame it on. But a lot of folks just saying the product's not as good as it was. They gave these guys all this money, and then with the injuries and the guys sitting down and not playing for any given amount of games, Kawhi kind of started that. The NBA had to dip in their bag. And they dipped in their bag, and it's crazy now. They're making these moves and players that you were used to, because these guys been with these teams for a couple seasons. Now,
Mm-hmm.
they're across the country. Jimmy Butler was in
Yeah,
Miami. Now he's in Golden State. Luca, who saw that coming? Dallas gave up their franchise, their future for AD. Didn't see
yeah, I
that one
agree with you.
coming.
I think It's too many channels, so it's hard to find out where it's going to be. If they kept it on ABC or NBC plus TNT, ESPN, the stuff that we are familiar with and most likely would have, because like you said, everybody doesn't have Peacock. Everybody is not going to want to go to Netflix or Prime to watch sports. So that kind of takes away from it. But also, I feel like I agree with you. Like I don't care what anybody says online because people enhance their wordplay. They can say anything, and a lot of time it just be noise. So the fact that the NBA is losing revenue on viewership, that's the only thing that counts. So how do we fix it? I don't really necessarily think it's the 3-point shot, but I do think it's more so of the traveling, the triple back step, the carrying the ball, the obvious things that we see on the day basis, to where people can actually make clips about it almost on every NBA player that plays at this particular moment. I think that's more the aspect. And the defense. Let it be a little more physical. The NBA used to be very physical. We don't have to get to the aspect of the 90s or 80s where they was putting lumps on people's heads, but hand checking, and it was a pretty good game at that time. These players are way more athletic, so they still should be able to score at will, shoot the ball, and do things. But I think we just make it so easy for the offensive player to where it's boring. We don't want to see people just being able to shoot, you know what I'm saying, or wide open, or you tap them on the back, oh, foul, you know what I'm saying?
Pinch
We
them.
want to see some excitement. Yeah, man.
Tie
So,
their shoelace at the free throw line. It's a foul.
yeah,
you know,
it's a foul. It's a foul. Like,
flopping.
we want to see
Chaz
some.
and I were talking
Yeah, the flop
a
is
couple
horrible.
weeks ago. I didn't know Wemby. He's a
Wemby?
flopper. Chaz,
Yeah,
elaborate.
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, when Philadelphia was playing the Spurs, and when Biyama was guarding Andre Drummond, he
Yeah.
literally runs up behind Andre Drummond like he's guarding him, and then he pushes himself off of Andre Drummond, lands on the ground like he got fouled, puts his hands in the air, and the ref calls a foul on Drummond, and Drummond
I
didn't even do
saw
anything.
that. I saw
Oh,
that play, and that was actually a big deal because they ran it on all the sports channels, and it was all on social media, so everybody
What
saw it because he did flop, and he
What's so
turned around
crazy?
like
Yeah, he
I
was
ain't.
comfortable with it. Like he practiced flopping.
yep.
Yeah, yeah, that sucks because I even remember playing high school basketball. We were taught to take contact, but literally we had to take the contact. So like a charge, you literally had to set your body up, stand up
Mm,
straight, and get hit, and
take
just
the
allow
bump.
your body to fall back. Yeah, not no. Basically, now they just like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, foul! Like I hate the flopping aspect. I wish that wasn't in the game, but yeah, I agree with you on that as well. I mean, and everybody does that. LeBron does that. Only
I heard.
certain players don't
I
do
heard
it,
LeBron
but
has an acting school in L.A. The boys go
I, I,
to LeBron's for camp over the summer. He teaches them how to flop.
I wouldn't be surprised. And that's the thing. That's the sucky thing because we used to be taught how to take a hit without getting hurt. Now people are being taught how to flop and make it look like you got hit, and that also takes away from the game.
And for a guy like Wemby to do a big guy like that looked
Yep.
ridiculous, man. And I
Wemby,
kind of,
just say
I'm not
Wemby.
gonna
You
say
don't even have
I'm
to
not.
say his whole name. Just say Wemby, okay? Just
Yeah,
say
Wemby.
Wemby.
Yeah,
All
I
right?
can't say his name, so Wemby. Slender Man, that's what they call him. But
Call him
that
that.
looked ridiculous, man. And I
Yeah,
kind of
do.
was feeling his story. He came into the league. They were saying he wasn't tough, built for the league yet. He was skinny, and he had to toughen up. He's only 18, so I kind of was following him a little bit. And to
Yeah.
see him pull that stunt right there, I was very disappointed.
Yeah, it sucks because that's just what they do now, And he is going to be the face of the league. I've seen amazing things from him. Great shooter. I mean, the guy's throwing alleys to himself. He's not scared of contact, and he wants to be a star. Like we talked about on the last episode. A lot of people don't want to be the star. Are they straight? They cool with being number two. He wants all of that. And the great thing about him, he doesn't seem, at least right now, I don't want to jinx him, injury prone. He seemed like he could take contact. His ankles is okay. He's a big dude, so the knees might eventually go out, but he actually seems like he's not one of those players that are going to be injury prone. God forbid
But
that happens.
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like he has the weight. So
He does.
you
That's
know,
true too. He doesn't have the weight, so if he can stay slender, man, he might be all right for some for years to come. But yeah, man, Jimmy Butler is going to be a Warrior. 2-year deal, 121. I think we all agree that that is a great move for him, especially getting out of Miami. Pat gets rid of him. He goes to a championship contender, and they might be one of the top teams in the Western Conference just from that one move. So I look forward to seeing the second half of the season because that's what really matters. The next 40 games
yeah,
after this
after
All
the
Star
break.
break. Yeah,
Yep.
so I'm looking forward to that, man. And I heard there's a new style in the All Star break too. I think it's not going to be East and West. They're going to do like they did before, where they actually, did street ball type stuff and they picked the players
How you
who
choose
going
your
to play
teams
role.
again? I mean,
Yeah,
how you feel about that, Chad?
I mean, it kind of takes away from the whole, nostalgic portion of the All Star game. But then All Star games were going downhill for a while anyway.
Yeah, I feel like they're
they don't
trying to
really
kill it,
play
man.
hard.
Well, they're
Yeah.
trying to
I
kill
mean,
it.
I
You know,
think
the
they're trying to
slam.
make it good.
The slam dunk contest been trashed last couple years or whatever. 3-point, it is what it is. But I mean, that aspect has been, corny. The celebrity game's been corny. I don't know if y'all into the rookies when they bring the rookies in. The All Star Weekend just isn't what it was, and I feel the same thing with football where they killed the Pro Bowl. Like these
Yeah,
were things that you actually look forward to seeing your favorite players, playing the All Star game, repping repping their conference, the East or the West. I remember that year, what was it, the 50th anniversary or something, where
yeah,
the guys got to wear their team jerseys.
Oh yeah.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that was tight, man. Or even being able to, I was never fortunate enough to do it, but I remember being in school up in Philadelphia every now and then. After All Star break, them guys be getting jerseys and stuff, East or West. That's kind of
yeah.
tight, man.
I always
I,
love the East and West thing. I hate it when they actually wore their own jerseys because one, it was too confusing. It
well, they
was too
they had home and
similarity.
away. They did home and away.
Yeah,
But yeah, I feel you. It was confusing. It was tight on NBA Live though. We didn't have 2K then. It was tight on NBA Live. Guys, the different
but
jerseys on.
hopefully they play hard. That's all I can ask for. And hopefully the dunk contest could come back. I think 2016 was. I actually went to that All Star game in Toronto, and a lot of people didn't go because it was in Toronto. But I
Mm.
thought that was one of the best dunk contests because in the current stage. But right now, you got three people. If they enter the dunk contest, everybody's gonna look. If you get Zion in there, if you get Ja Moran in there, if you get freaking
None of them
Anthony
got
the Ant Man in there,
They ain't
that would
playing.
be crazy.
none of them guys gonna be in it. Maybe Ant Man.
But that's the
I know
sucky thing
Ja's not
about it
gonna do it.
because Ja definitely should do it. That would boost his stat. He's already that person. We see what he does in games. That would
I'm
be
gonna tell.
amazing. Him and Ant Man alone would be crazy. And
Yeah,
then
they're
you
not gonna.
add Zion. Oh my god, bro!
I'm gonna
Think
tell you
I
who
would
about
look
killed it.
forward to
Why we
that.
don't see guys like that in the slam dunk contest anymore. I'm gonna let Chaz tell you. Chaz, tell him
I
who
know.
killed the slam dunk contest.
Yeah, LeBron James, he killed it.
I knew you was gonna say
Single-handedly
that.
killed
LeBron's a
Yeah,
superstar, and he decided that he doesn't have to do it. So now these other guys don't do it.
it. Yep. Like
yeah,
he single-handedly killed it, and then social media finished it off because nobody wants to be embarrassed. Nobody wants to clip of them,
wow.
miss the dunk.
Imagine how Vince Carter felt when he stepped on the court. That yeah, he did the slam dunk contest. Or whatever. You think he wasn't nervous? You think he didn't want to be embarrassed? But he did his
Yep.
thing. You know what I'm saying?